Hey, it's Bob Melbanian and Matt Hartnett from Shockwave Skull Sessions and Aftershocks. If you'd like to receive access to exclusive episodes from your favorite show and would even like to be a part of it, we've got an offer that you simply can't refuse.
CMSPN now offers our listeners the chance to not only view and listen to exclusive episodes, but to actually participate in one as well. Go to our Subscribe Star page at www.subscribestar.com/CMSPN. Our page has 3 monthly subscription tiers for you to choose from, and is a great way to personally connect to your favorite CMSPN show.
Our content will always be free of charge, but if you're looking to have a closer connection to your favorite show, subscribestar.com/CMSPN is the way to go. As always, thanks for listening, and enough of us talking. Here's the episode you actually came here for.
It is Aftershocks right here on Aftershocks TV, and joining us today to talk about his great new release, The IDES of March, is the vocalist of Myles Kennedy, of course, as well as Slash, as well as Alter Bridge, and probably every other band you've ever heard in your life. He is the one and only Myles Kennedy. Myles, how are you, man?
I'm good, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Sure, man. Dude, it's great to talk to you, and it's great to have this new release, which is, I guess it's another curveball. I'll just put it that way. You know,
right.
When you did Year of the Tiger, that was a curveball from everything that people had been led to, which then convinced people, well, maybe that's what Myles does when he's solo. And now you come back with something completely different, goes in a lot of different directions, and shows, you know, more diverse sides of you. So talk a little bit about that, maybe to start us off, man. What is it about music, I guess, in general, that leads you to be constantly exploring what you can and can't do?
That's a good question. I've always been, I think it's something I learned early on, was to always be open to different genres and explore those. And so I've digested enough of that over the course of my career that when what ends up happening as a writer is then I want to explore it. You know, I want to try this out. And, you know, I have Alter Bridge, and with Slash Conspirators, we have a thing. It's part of the brand. But with the solo records, you're kind of left to your own devices. That should be the time that you take a few chances here and there without going crazy. You know, you don't want to alienate your fans. Well, why is he putting out a polka record? You know, but I try to keep it. At the end of the day, I just want to keep myself engaged. You know, I want to do something so that when I'm done making that record, then when I go back to the other bands, I've kind of gotten it off my chest. You know, I've been able to express myself in that realm, and now I'm ready to go back to doing, you know, what these bands are known for doing. So it ends up being beneficial for all things, all parties, you know, really.
No question. And it's really showing itself on this one. You have so many songs that go in so many different directions. You know, like I'll start with the title track itself. Has that kind of jazzy feel to the beginning of it, which, you know, felt a little out of left field, especially, you know, you do the first few songs and then you get that one. It's like, woo, there's a nice twist. Yeah, exactly. You know, how did that one in particular come together? And what was it about that song that you felt strongest about to name the album after it?
Yeah, well, that one came together. So most of the record was written between like March and July of last year of 2020. But that song, the genesis of it happened, I was just waking up. It was in January of last year. I was just kind of dreaming, kind of in this, you know, when you first wake up. And I heard, we'll just be on the blue horizon. And I thought, I don't know what that is, but I think I'm going to get up and just record that little bit. And then after that, you know, please don't, and I thought, okay, there's 2 parts that go well together. And I chased it down for quite a while. I thought it was something that could be special. And so I really handled it with a lot of care. It took about 6 months to finish that song. It ended up being 7 minutes long. You know, I didn't intend for it to be that epic journey. And then as far as the narrative of the lyric, it was kind of just a reflection of where, and just looking at the world and kind of seeing where everything was, and all the uncertainty. There was a prophetic element to the song of where could things go, and expressing some of those emotions, and then trying to end up in the coda, in the outro, which is very major, an optimism that things are going to be all right. Cool heads prevail in times of change, and keep that in perspective. So yeah, it was it's a long journey, but it was something that in the end it ended up on a number of levels really helping me just kind of understand everything and deal with everything. And so it became a very cathartic song, and I figured that would be a good reason to make it the title track.
No question. And it's a cool song. Another really good one is the one that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're releasing as a single tomorrow, Love Rain Down. Again, it's another side of you that, and I think that's kind of the theme with the whole album is you can go track to track to track, and there's these different elements. What is it about that song that really led you to want to showcase it ahead of the album?
That's one of two songs on the record. It's an old song. So okay. That song and Wanderlust I've had sitting in the song refrigerator now for about 11 years that just never found a home. And I thought the themes of those songs really fit the overall vibe of the record. And it's like Mark Tremonti heard the initial demo of that 10 years ago, more longer than that. Flip, our drummer from Alter Bridge, and a few other, my brother, and people were, I was like, when are you going to record that Love Rain Down song? And we really like that song. And I was like, okay, well, we'll do it on this record. And it's certainly different. I mean, it's very, I don't know if you're familiar, there's an artist whose name was Big Bill Brunzi, and there was a song that Eric Clapton did on his acoustic record, the unplugged one in the mid 90s, and there's a song called Hey Hey. And when I heard that song, I was like, who wrote that song and what is that? And I researched and discovered it was Big Bill Brunzi, and I thought, I want to learn how to play try and do that. So that was really where that riff came from, was me trying to kind of take that approach and use it in my own songwriting.
Sure, it definitely works. And then my favorite track on the album, which I have to imagine is just a fun track for you to play, is Tell It Like It Is. Just a fun 70s rock vibe type of a cool song. I gotta know though, who is that one about? Because it sounds like you're dealing with somebody shady, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the idea that you've been burned, and it's something when you just want to be transparent and just kind of tell it like it is, and don't sugarcoat it. And like if there's somebody that's wronged you or whatever, it's just like just be straight up. And I'm at a point in my life now where I try and do everything in my power to rid myself of anything that's toxic, any sort of relationship or whatever it is, and just, I try to stay in that Zen place, man. So that song, that's actually one of my favorites as well. I think it's because it's like a combination of, and it's something I've never tried. Oftentimes I'll lean towards songs that I haven't tried in a genre. That's kind of got like a Rolling Stones with a little T-Rex in there. Right. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's got kind of that honky tonk rock thing going, which it's a cool song. And of all of the songs on the record, it's the one that I just kept hitting back and playing over and over.
Right on.
Just a fun one. Now, Myles, not surprisingly to anybody that knows anything about you, is that you do feature a lot of guitar playing on this from yourself. And, I think I've asked you this before, is about it, you not having that ability to do that as much with Alter Bridge and obviously with Slash. Those guys are pretty dominant guitar players in their own right. Do you look at these solo records not only as a place to, kind of explore musical ideas vocally, but as a place to really remind people that, you were once regarded as one of the great guitar players in waiting before you found your voice?
Wow, that's really nice. I don't know. I mean, for me, it really is just because guitar is. Look, I got up today, and usually I try to make myself work out a little bit or get some exercise. Today I couldn't help it. I grabbed a guitar and I sat there for an hour and just noodled. It's my go-to, and it's funny because my friends that I grew up with, they're like, when are you gonna do what you do. You know, you're known as a singer and a songwriter, but play guitar, man.
Right.
So I started listening to a few of them. Like, all right, I'll do that on this record.
No doubt. And you know, it's funny. There's this old video out there on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it. The one of you at like the talent show or something,
right,
and playing guitar. And I think you would be surprised how many people don't even realize that you play guitar, man. It's really surprising that, you know, people can love a band but not do the research and understand, okay, well, this is where this guy comes from.
Right. Yeah. You know, I guess I've been guilty of that too in the past. There have been bands I didn't understand the guitar dynamic. You know, like with Alter Bridge, it's fun because I get my guitar jollies in that realm. You know, Mark's always been really cool. He's like, hey man, why don't you take a solo here? And you know, so I get enough of a chance to stretch out there where it keeps me satiated. But doing the solo records, that's where I get to really, you know, go hog wild.
No doubt. Now, Myles, obviously, man, the pandemic has shut everybody down, not just you, but I have to imagine a guy like you who is far busier and has far more big bands to be playing with. This has to be driving you crazy, just staying home. You know, how have you been able to not only stay busy, because obviously you were working on the record, but keep your energy up at a time when you know you would probably be on the road instead of being at home?
Yeah. Well, the answer might surprise you. It actually, it's been kind of good for me.
Okay.
I know these have been bad times for a lot of people, but I was starting to get a little, by the end of 2019, in 2019, I was on the road or in the studio for over 300 days that year. And I was starting to get a little fried. So it was kind of like when all this happened, it was, I think, healthy for my psyche to power down, spend time with my family, and kind of regroup. So I'm itching now. I want to play some shows and get out there. But it was beneficial, I think, in the beginning.
Sure. When there is the ability to get back out there and play shows, where does the energy go? Is it Alter Bridge? Is it Slash? Is it solo? I mean, the world is different now. There's less places to play, and obviously every single band in the world is going to be looking to play 30% of what used to be there. You know, so where will you? Do you have a choice that you have to make there, or does Alter Bridge always take precedence over Slash, over solo, or how does that work for you?
Well, it's a wonderful thing because I basically have everything blocked out in about 3-year increments. So it's kind of like one band gets 12 months, next band gets 12 months. So it's constantly revolving. So I'll be starting a Myles solo record cycle here once this record comes out, and really for the next year, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So if I can't find a venue to play, I guess you'll just see me on a street corner with a hat and a guitar.
Somehow I doubt that you're going to have that problem, but
well, you never know.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Well, Myles, I saw I've seen you, I don't know how many times, 15 times or whatever at this point, but I did catch the Year of the Tiger tour, which was quite a surprise. You know, I went in expecting to see you on a stool with an acoustic guitar, and instead I got Iron Maiden covers and was like, wow, this is awesome. But so with that said, what will a Myles Kennedy tour look like this time?
Great question. I think we have like 4 shows towards the end of June. Those are going to be band oriented, so it'll be the 3-piece. But then I don't know. I might do some acoustic dates this summer. I do like doing the acoustic thing because it allows me to just be the thing about the acoustic thing is it's really more about the nonsense that I say on the mic and in between songs. It's just like me and I don't think, like for a long time I was really shy and didn't like to talk in between songs, but there's something about that environment where I just feel like, hey, let's just hang out together and let's keep this kind of like it's going to be a free-for-all. So I'm going to play some Iron Maiden covers. I'm going to do whatever happens. If you have any ideas for covers I should think about for this next cycle, let me know, because I was sitting here thinking, okay, so we did the Trooper on the last one. What would be kind of a unique take this time? And I'm still racking my brain.
Well, I'd say Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, but I doubt you're given that much time.
Ooh, I like that. That's probably my favorite Maiden track, like especially the Live After Death version when they do live one. Oh, I love that. That's good stuff.
I could just see a bunch of, especially like Alter Bridge, the younger Alter Bridge fans, if you break out the full 13 minutes of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, they won't know what that is.
Such a good track.
Well, Myles, I'm just, I don't want to be a negative guy, but I got to ask the legitimate, serious question as far as, again, going back on the road with the pandemic. What changes? Does anything change for you? Do you, not do meet and greets anymore, or not stick your hand out to shake hands, or, I know it almost sounds dumb asking the question, but we're in a different place than we were the last time you were on tour.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think navigating the new realm is going to be interesting. I don't know. I do know that for what I don't want to have happen is for someone to come to a show and end up, being affected in a negative sense. So that's paramount to me. So I think meet and greets, as far as the way we did it prior to all this, that probably won't work. But we'll try and figure something out so that people feel like they're engaging, and feeling like they leave happy. I want that to happen. I don't want someone to leave going, man, that was a drag, as it felt like he seemed like he was the boy in the bubble up there, Right. But I've always, some fans know I've always kind of been that way. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. In fact, it's funny because for a long time I always had always the Purell back by the drum riser, and it would literally be like you would see in between if I was done with singing a chorus, Myles goes back and does his hands again. Like he's like Howard Hughes. What's this guy's problem? So I've learned to kind of calm down in that sense.
Well, maybe now you could get Purell to actually sponsor the tour, since it's so much more necessary, right?
Right. That's a great idea. I'm telling my manager after I get off with you.
Nice. Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, Myles, the new album, it's called IDES of March. I strongly recommend it. It is a lot of fun. And that's, I think, probably the best compliment I can give it. I like anybody else, I can say, well, this song's great and I don't like this, or blah, 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 blah. The best thing I can say about it is it's a fun listen from start to finish. It's that kind of a rock record. And I'll tell you what, man, tell people where they should go to keep up with you and find out about tour dates and with both yourself and all the bands. And that's
cool. Yeah, you can go to MylesKennedy.com. Yeah, you can follow me on official Myles Kennedy at Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and all the deets will be there.
Very good, man. Well, Myles, once again, the album, The IDES of March, it's out on May 14th, and good luck with it, man. I hope it does well for you.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure, Chris.
Thanks for listening to Aftershocks. For more episodes, go to our website at www.aftershockspodcast.com. Visit us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more news and information on the podcast. And be sure to subscribe, listen to, and review all episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast platforms. For your music listening pleasure, visit our website or go to www.shockwavesradio.com. For all comments and questions, please email us at info@aftershockspodcast.com.
All right, everybody, another great interview right here on Aftershocks TV. And before we go, just want to remind you one more time, make sure you get over and subscribe to the CMS Podcast Network, CMSPN.com. You can watch, you can listen, you can subscribe to everything that we do. Not only us, but the classic metal shows, Shockwave Skull Sessions, Talk to Me. It's all there, one site, get 4 great shows. Never have to do anything again but be entertained. So check it out, cmspn.com, cmspn.com, cmspn.com. Until next time, folks.